Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Russell Does Stuff. My name is Russell, and I'm always doing stuff. I think it was a perfect name for this channel because I'm always doing stuff. Yesterday, a friend of mine called me up after his second tire blowout. Looks like he bought a bad batch of tires. He drives a 1956 Chevy. It's like a 2500. It's got 8 lugs, not 6, or I don't know. Maybe this truck here has 7 lugs. I don't know. But anyway, it's a heavy duty, old fashioned truck. And he asked me if I had a rim, and I don't have a rim for that vehicle. I can hook him up with a Ford rim though, and he just laughed. That's probably the third time this year he's called me up and asked for Russell Rescue. February, he had carburetor issues on the interstate, and I had to run out and rescue him. He gave me a flashlight as a present, as a gift, for saying that was his way of saying thank you for my help. So now I tell him I won't come out and help him unless he has a flashlight to give me. I'm up with the chickens this morning, and about this time of year, all my customers will leave town. The customer's house I just left, they left town, and they won't be back for a long time. They don't like the heat, so they hot-foot it to some cooler parts of the United States. And one of these days, I'm going to follow them and find out what their secrets are. You know, where are these elusive, cooler spots to live in the United States? Because it gets pretty darn hot where I live. Heat index is what kills you, you know. So it's like sitting in an oven all day long and somebody spraying hot air at you through a wind turbine. I only have a few things to do this morning. I'm going to go to an industrial park that I mow, and haven't been to it in a couple weeks, so we'll see if that's a mess or not. I'm thinking about cutting it loose because it's kind of out of my way now. When I built a book of business, I would drive as far away as I could and then work my way back. And then as I grew the company, I was getting accounts along those routes. And so it made sense to mow this property and take care of it, make sure the sidewalks are clean and stuff. I don't know. I might get rid of another account that's on Tuesday's list, just because that's now out of my way also, and it doesn't really benefit me much to go do it. So when you have financial freedom, you can do whatever kind of work you want. You can go work at Ace Hardware, or you can still run your business, just, you know, reduce all the headaches and trim all the fat out of it. You find you're not working in fear anymore. Like, you know, oh, if I don't show up at 7 o'clock, these people are going to fire me and I can't buy beer one thing I was trying to teach some of my employees was, once all your bills are paid off and all your debt's paid off and you own everything, you no longer work in fear. You know, you still want to be responsible and all that good stuff, but the control outside forces have on your life are gone, you know. I just the thought of having to pay a 30-year mortgage off, just, to me, it just felt horrible. Even as a kid, you know, like even when my parents bought a house and they would talk and I'd hear them talking and I'd hear 30-year mortgage, and I just thought, wow, that's a long time. Why are mortgages 30 years? You know, car payments are going to be 30 years one day. They're heading in that direction. What, 6 years, 7 years to pay off a vehicle? You know, I thought like 5 years used to be the normal or something for paying off a vehicle. You know, and at the fifth year and the final payment, your vehicle broke and was no longer functionable, and you had to go buy another one. And that, I think that's how that was set up for a long time. That house I just left, I fired that lady last year. She gave me a hard time about something, and then she walked it back and was blaming it on, you know, something else and whatever. And you know, she doesn't know that, you know, that I don't put up with that kind of stuff. I'm responsible. I do what I say I'm going to do. You can trust me. And I show up. And she mixed up her days and her weeks and all that stuff. And, you know, it kind of gave me a real hard time one day on my day off. I just told her, you know, I'll give you all your money back if you want it, you know, and you can go find someone else. Oh, I'm sorry, you know, she walked it back pretty good. I said, all right. So her and I have a new understanding, okay? And sometimes you need to do that with people, you know. Sometimes that's the only way to fix a bad relationship, is to get the matches out and light some of that bridge on fire. You know, it's like the schoolyard stuff where you get in a fight with the bully and then you guys become best friends. It's the same principle. It's the same psychology. You stand up for yourself and see what happens. And if the relationship's over with, it's meant to be over with, and you move on, and you now have time in your life for new relationships. Nothing like working. It's good for you. I've known a lot of people. And the people who don't do anything, two things either happen to them. They live until they're 100, or they die early. I know people who smoke and drink, and they lived into their 90s. I know people who smoke and drink, and they didn't make it out of their 60s, you know, so... I think, you know, do the best you can with the cards you're dealt. That's why I go to the gym. Dick Van Dyke said, got to get ready for your 70s, and then you got to get ready for your 80s, and then you got to get ready for your 90s. So I just don't ever see myself sitting in the house all day long. There's too much excitement out in the world. I have to get on the interstate today in order to go get that part for that broken mower I got. I haven't been on the interstate in months. So when you see lots of dump trucks and lots of service vehicles and stuff, you know the economy's still doing pretty good. When the economy collapsed, you didn't see all this activity. You know, you saw mostly just cars. Well, this is Russell with Russell Does Stuff, and I thought I'd share my thoughts with everybody. Life's a garden. Go find a shovel and get to digging. And I'll catch you guys later.